Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brooks, or damn, Brooks. It's a Tuesday, and I'm screwing things up already. But yay for having new fun things with StreamYard. Very excited. I hope everybody's doing great tonight, or this afternoon, or this morning, depending on where you are. I'm looking forward to this evening's stream. I did start an hour late. I hope that didn't impede anybody. But there's a reason for it, and we'll get to it in a couple minutes here. Let me go ahead and bring up chat and see who's around. Oh, we got some folks already coming in. Mayo's here. What's up, Mayo? My man Greg is here. What's up? Kodiak Brooks. Hey. Brooks is right. All right, guys. I don't want to lose any of the time that I have with my special guest tonight. This is somebody that I've met through a couple of channels. I'm very glad that I've met him. He was actually my inspiration for this build. So I'm very, very glad to welcome him this evening to show off what he's done with his work that inspired me to do this and talk about things that he does. Let me go ahead and bring him right in here. Let me welcome Dave Morgan to the stream.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this all week. Stupid IT problems. We have two IT people in the stream, and we had IT problems. You know, go figure.
Yeah, but I think we figured it out because you were on, you're live.
Yep, so that's good. And yeah, welcome to Brooks.
Yes.
Or something like that.
Because I was so excited to get started this evening. Completely messing up my own name.
That happens.
Yep. Everybody's saying, hey, Dave. Hey, welcome. So, Dave, I'm going to give you the floor. Feel free to introduce yourself for folks that may not know, or whatever you want to say hi to people.
Yeah. Okay. Yours. I'll give a real quick my Lego story.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing Lego. I'm 62, and I've only been doing Lego for like 3 years. I got into it because a friend who I happened to work with at the time showed me photos of his finished UCS Millennium Falcon, and I kind of went, "Wait, what? That's a thing?" And so I ended up buying one, and that's actually the first Lego set I ever built. Was the 7,500 piece Falcon. And I kind of want to go back and take it all apart and rebuild it again now, because when I built it the first time, I didn't really appreciate any of the techniques. And now I could learn a lot more, but it would take so long to take it apart and put it back together. So I haven't yet.
I can imagine.
But, and then shortly after that, I found out about the Lego store. And from that, I found out about the lug. And I'm very lucky to have a very nice lug where I live in Portland area. And that got me hooked into Bricks Cascade. And from there, it just went crazy. I went to Bricks Cascade in 2019. I went to the 4-day convention, but I didn't display anything. But after that is when I built my first MOC, which was a 14,000 piece hotel. That was the very first MOC I built. And I'm only about 6 months after I got into Lego, if that.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And since then, COVID is annoying, and it's still unfortunate. But one of the silver linings in it is all of the streams where I've met so many cool people. I mean, I was already active on Bevan's Bricks channel, which unfortunately I'm not so much anymore because I don't have time. But I've made a bunch of friends through streams and through Discord, and you're one of them. And that's been nice.
Absolutely.
So I'm on a couple of different Discord servers now that are much lower volume and much easier to keep up with. That's really nice. So, but yeah, I mean, I for everybody listening, I was telling Matt this a couple of weeks ago. It's kind of weird in a good way, being in a stream, watching somebody building something that was basically modeled after something I designed. It's kind of weird, but in a cool way.
But it's amazing because of what you've designed that inspired me.
Yeah, and a little bit about how this model came about. It was in the background of some TV show I was watching. I don't remember which one. It might have been like Queer Eye. I don't know. But and interesting little piece of trivia. I didn't know this was possible until a friend told me, even though I work in IT. Difficult IT breaking things. Yeah. I didn't know where the building was. So I took a picture of my TV and then I uploaded it to Google Images, which allows you to do a search. I didn't know that. You can actually go into the Google app on your phone and upload an image and it will see if it can find it. And it found it for me. And it told me that it was a building in Kansas City.
Huh. Interesting.
And I think somebody on your stream last week was saying that it was WeWork, which it is. It's a WeWork building. So
was it? I don't remember if I was talking to you or talking to Greg. I know somebody I mentioned what I was going to do with the second floor here, what I started building. And I said it was just going to be kind of a free-for-all sort of situation. I didn't have a name for it. I think I mentioned it, and they're like, somebody threw out the rework. I'm like, that
Yeah,
sounds
but
great.
that
We
was
call
kind
it that, but not call it that.
that was yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I kind of I didn't want to, but that I thought that was kind of cool that I did an good enough job designing it that people realized, oh, it's WeWork. So hey, Lego High Tech, thank you very much. So yeah, so this was, I don't know, my second or third mock that I did, and I still didn't have a lot of parts yet. So when I built mine, I don't know how you're doing yours in terms of the floors, but mine was a shell. I'll show you some pictures here in a little bit. I took some pictures. I haven't done that so much anymore, but for this one, I took pictures throughout the build process, and it was just a shell. There was no plates between the floors, which meant, I had to build it all in one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Scott. And couldn't take it apart easily to do stuff to it. Now I have plenty of plates and plenty of tiles to separate the floors, and I would, but I didn't back then. So it was just a big tall shell, and I think I made mine 7 floors. How tall are you going with yours? 5 floors, 4 floors?
I've gone 4, and then a very shallow roof with some skylighting.
Did you say with some what on the roof?
With some skylights.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, I love lots of glass in my builds. That's one of the reasons I liked this particular building. So that's cool.
Absolutely. The way that I did this is just because I'm still obviously learning a lot of techniques. I mean, this is really modular. It's literally just every floor is just its own component here. So it's pretty basic.
But you do have floor plates on each floor, which I didn't have because I didn't have
Yeah, because I was going to obviously do interior work, as we all know, it's my big thing. I definitely had to.
Yeah, and because I had no interior and no floor plates, I actually ended up, what's it called? Vellum paper. I cut something like 80 pieces of vellum paper to the size of one of the interior window assemblies, and I taped it manually onto the back of each one so I could light it from the inside, but it would be diffused and you wouldn't see what was inside.
I've heard of that technique. I forget where I saw it, but I saw it like 2 or 3 years ago, shortly after I got back into Lego myself. Somebody built a massive building based on real life, but they couldn't do interior work. It just would have been just beyond insane. And they put something on the back of all their external windows, their panels, so they could light it up and make it feel like it was an office building, but you couldn't see inside.
Yeah, I ended up going to Michael's, and they had like a 10-pack of 8x10, 8.5 by 11 sheets of vellum paper for like $3.
You know it, Greg.
So that seemed like a no-brainer at that price because I only used like 3 or 4 sheets to do it.
Oh, okay, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, so like $1 of paper or something to do it. The pain part was cutting it up and taping it on.
I can imagine. Were you very particular about cutting it so it filled everything just right? Or did you
No, it overlapped.
Okay.
I made sure that it was slightly bigger than each one so that I could tape it on the outside edges to be quick and easy about it.
Cool. So, very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to get to some bread and butter and show everything off?
Let's see here. Let me go over here for just a second. Yeah. I mean, these are just kind of random photos in no particular. Yeah. These are in chronological order of when I built them, but I don't know what's in here that's interesting. There's a couple of things in here that are definitely kind of cool, but oops.
And just to remind folks, this is the inspiration for what I'm doing here. It's from all the work that you did. So you can probably see a little bit of similarity in some of the things.
So the reason that those wall pieces are there is because the first floor did have an interior. Mm-hmm. So I put walls to each of those, and then the rest of it didn't. Unfortunately, I still can't believe I did this, but I didn't apparently take very much at all in terms of pictures of the interior. There you can see some of the vellum.
Yes.
Like on the back of these.
Yep, that's exactly what I remember seeing in the other building too. Yep.
And then are you doing lighting on yours?
I am making it so that I can do it in the future. I definitely want to, and I plan to. It's probably going to be wired through the back elevator shaft to each floor.
Yeah. Oh, your elevator shaft is cool. But yeah, I did basic lighting, but I only did it. I did the most of it on the first floor with the shops, and then I just did some basic interior behind the vellum. So there's one of them. This was a post office. So I had 3 post office places, and you can't see it very well, but there's another shot where you will. Over here, there was a wall that my intention was for it to look like post office boxes. Okay. And then This is where you'd get the supplies, you know, the priority envelopes and things like that.
Yeah.
And you can actually see here how I taped those vellum sheets on. You can see the tape right there on either side.
Yes, yes. I didn't really catch it until you just pointed that out.
Yeah, I didn't actually catch it when I looked at them before either, but I realized, oh yeah, there they are. And I had the battery box for powering the lights in the middle because you couldn't see that part since it was walled off.
Mm-hmm. Little creative strategy there.
So there's another shot from the side of the post office.
I will say something that struck me right away as you showed me your diagram or your studio design for this, because that's where we really started with this process, was just the uniformity and the way that everything just blended together between the masonry brick, the dark blue, the dark red, the tan columns there. Everything just looked so perfect to me. It just caught my eye like nothing else really did. The way that everything blended together like that, and that's what drew me to it.
Well, thanks. That's nice to hear. Something else, I don't know how much you noticed it, and I don't know how adept you are at studio yet, but I made pretty extensive use of submodels in here.
Yes, yes. I will tell folks that I'm still very, very basic. I just know how to open it. I can do a couple little things. I just have not taken the time to do anything with it. But I had to do at least enough so I could manipulate your drawing a bit to try to get an idea of how things worked.
The nice thing is that submodels make it actually quite a bit faster. I don't design. I learned this after the fact, and I don't work on my designs with an idea of how to be able to make instructions for them later, because that's a huge amount of work. But
Right.
I will say that because of the way I use submodels, especially in my first big old hotel, it allows me to kind of assembly line build. And I think you did this on your first stream for this. You can assembly line build some window assemblies and then just drop them in place and secure them with plates on the top.
Yeah, it kind of took me a little bit to get into the assembly line kind of mode. The first floor was definitely by far the slowest.
Oh, yeah.
But once I got started with 2 and then 3 and 4, it really did become, okay, well, I'm just going to do all the sub-assemblies of all the window panel sections, and then I will build all around that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that did make it go.
That makes building go really fast. I was surprised the first time I did it at how much that helped.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure Greg could attest to that, watching how I went very slow at first and I got going much faster.
yeah. Yeah. Like on back to my old big white hotel. This is actually kind of a funny story too. I got it all built and I was really proud of it. And I sent a photo to Daryl in email. And he said, I like everything about it except the windows. I say, but that's the best part. And then he told me why he didn't like them. And he was right. And things that I could do to make them better. And at the same time, I had decided that the aspect ratio wasn't right. It needed to be wider for how tall it was. So I completely tore it down, redesigned it, and rebuilt it again. But when I built it the second time, I was shocked at how fast I was able to build because of A, the familiarity with the model, and B, the submodels.
Yeah, I mean, even in practical terms of actually assembling it, once you've got all the parts for those basic sections, it did go a lot faster, because I'm sitting here like, all right, I got to put one of these together, and then I got to do a little bit of something else. But just putting a whole lot of everything together, boom, 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 it really sped it up. It was a great technique.
Yep. Yeah, because well, if you can look at just the submodel and you figure out how it's built, after you've built one or two of them, you can build the rest of them without even having to look at the instructions. And that's, I think, what makes it so much faster. And then you can go concentrate on the masonry brick sections between the windows and build all those up. And then you can just snap them all together and secure them with tile or plates on the top.
Exactly.
Yeah, Greg, exactly. Very cool.
Bing, bang,
It was
boom, done.
bing, bang, boom, done. Exactly. That was the thing. I think I rebuilt the second version of that other hotel, which was, like I said, about 14,000 pieces. I think I rebuilt it in like 2 or 3 days. I was amazed. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a massive build. And to know that you did that fairly quickly is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I might have mentioned some of this to you before in Discord or something, but to some degree, I might like to go back and revisit some of my early MOCs, because I've learned so much more now and I have more parts, and it might be interesting to try V2 of some of these and see how I could make them better.
Yes, absolutely. I hear you on that. I'm actually thinking about doing similar things with a couple of my, I dare say, older buildings, even though they're not really old. They're all, at least, they're under 2 years old, really, at this point. But like I did a Galleria kind of thing. Early last year is one of my first bigger buildings. But it was before I got a lot of other pieces, especially kind of before I got into the whole get pab from my Lego store, get pab from the Lego Facebook group and other people. So it's a lot of just kind of bland and not a lot of cool things. And I want to go back and start applying some other techniques and doing different things to that, I think.
Yep. The thing I still find humorous about this particular mock is that it means that I now have around 1,700 1x2 dark red masonry bricks in my stock because that's how many it took.
Oh, I was actually really lucky that what was that? Right before the pandemic hit, literally like I'd say hit, but before everything really started going to lockdown back in March of last year, I had gone out to Rochester, New York, which is not like an hour and a half away from where I am, to visit a vendor that we use. They have like a little user gathering kind of thing for their clients in the area. And not far from where they are is a mall that also had a Lego store. Figured I'd stop in there before I got over and see what they had in PAL. Lo and behold, they had red masonry brick, and I loaded up on a bunch. I wish I had known, though, that I could have gotten a lot more than I did at the time, because I still have had to buy quite a bit to do this building here.
Yeah,
that's part of what I had.
Similar to my story. And oh, by the way, one little techie thing. Every once in a while, when you speak really loud, you're overdriving a little bit.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's just something I noticed, that being the video production person that I am. Anyway, I believe this is the right timeline. I had finished this design and I knew I wanted it to be red, but I hadn't ordered the parts yet. I was like, where am I going? That's a lot of parts. Those are going to be expensive. And I went to the Lego store like a few days later, and they happened to have these in stock. And I couldn't believe it. So when I go to the Lego store, having masonry bricks and everything, I don't like to buy like all the supply of something out of Lego store because I like to give other people a chance. So I ended up buying these bricks over like a 4-week period because the gal who does our ordering says she just keeps ordering stuff until it's been on the wall for at least a week. And those happen to be available over and over again. So I bought a couple of cups, a cup or two every week for like 4 weeks, and then I ended up with enough.
Yeah, I think I did the same when my store had some dark bluish gray and some dark tan. I went in 2 different times and I got a few cups full. I didn't want to just take all their supply right away.
This is a good question from Kodiak Bricks. I'm learning sign language, which has my mind on disability and accessibility. Are there any features in your mock to make the building more handicap accessible? That's interesting because the first floor, there shouldn't be any problem. You should be able to roll a wheelchair right in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got an elevator for your building, so that should take care of the other floors for yours as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, even though it's technically not a full, an actual real elevator, it's more of a kind of a fake elevator. It's just kind of the look and feel of it. I mean, it's in the universe. That's kind of what's going to happen is that they can
exactly. Yeah, the intent is that it's a real elevator, so because if this was raised at all and you'd need a ramp to get up to it, but because of the way this is built, when you put the tiles on the base plate, they're going to be the same level as the door jamb, and you should be able to just get right in.
Right, exactly.
So anyway, back to a couple of other things here. This next picture is something I made for one of the buildings. One of the tenants on the first floor was a copy center.
Mm-hmm.
And I made this, which I thought came out pretty nice. Especially for me, who doesn't do a lot of interior type work. I just kind of looked at some photos and went, how am I going to build that? And I don't even remember how I did the angled thing. Now it must have been a hinge brick or something, but that would have been one of the very first times I ever used one of those.
I was going to say that definitely looks like it's got a hinge or something there on that one side, but that makes it feel a little bit more authentic, honestly.
Yeah,
because a lot of multifunction devices have angles like that.
Well, let's go back and look at your stuff for a little bit, and then we can come back to more of my pictures later. How's that sound?
Sure. All right. I'm going to go ahead and focus in here and show some folks what I've been up to here recently. Let's see. All right. So since last week, I have done a little work on interior stuff and a couple things that I'll present. I came up with a template for a desk, which folks may recall seeing in a previous stream here. And it was inspired by something I saw on Instagram, if I recall correctly. But I did modify it based, of course, on parts that I have on hand. But here's the result of that. So I basically got 6 of these guys here. I'm using those window panel pieces on the back for just kind of some support. And I kind of like the look of it. We've got a couple drawers here. And we've got a little lamp, keyboard, computer terminal, and I've got a bunch of little dot pieces. So I figured I'd just throw some dot pieces on all the desks for like some kind of decorative purposes, like, paper or something, who knows, right?
I think you showed that monitor on one of your previous streams. Where'd you get that sticker? It
So
looks like Windows XP or something.
yes, so all the stickers I've actually got on all of these. There's a few different sets of them. And actually the two I just showed out right here, I pulled out here. It's probably really tough to see because they're very small. But they're actually if you knew where they came from, you'd laugh. But they're actually all a part of this sticker order I had gotten from at the time Dave from Brick Addict, which has now been taken over by Paul Roos in the UK. But I requested Dave to make a few special things for me, and he took his time on it because he had a lot of personal issues going on. But it is what it is. But when he sent me the order, he sent me a bunch of extra things here. So I've got my stuff, but I also got like a bunch of just random things. There's like Burger King stickers, for example, Pizza Hut stickers.
That's cool.
Little Caesar stickers. So I'm kind of just picking and choosing things from there. And like the Burger King sticker sheet actually had a few little computer terminals on there. I'm like, that looks really cool.
So when you say got taken over, do you mean that you're just going to Paul now for your stickers, or did he actually take over Brick Addict?
No, Paul actually has taken over that actual business. I don't know a lot of the details of it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But Paul has taken over that business. I have talked to him, and I actually had to get back in touch with him about this. I presented him a Google Doc of a number of projects that I have up my sleeve, and asked him if he could kind of start drafting out some sticker sets, at least for a few things. I know some folks are very anti-sticker. I'm a big fan of them because for things like this, it pulls the look together just a bit more.
It really does.
So I'm very happy using them where I think they're applicable. But I wanted Paul to really design a bunch of additional little things so I could customize some things I have in mind. Like I've got those. I got those 2 other office buildings MOCs that I created after I got the Daily Bugle earlier this summer. I only built the shells of those and I put those in the city already, but they've got no interiors other than just the floors. And I have ideas in mind about what I want to do of those various spaces, and I wanted Paul to throw together some stuff for me to just complete the look of those various spaces that I want to do.
Okay.
So I need to kind of get back in touch with him about that.
Also, I have one other question for you. When you were showing off your MOC before, you had some really cool piece for like the elevator up and down arrows. Are those stickers, or how did you do that?
Yes. Let's see. Here we go. I have a whole bag of these. They are all trans orange tile pieces that have a print of an arrow, basically
What
some
the
yellow
heck?
prints.
Was that from what? I wonder what set that was in. I take it you got those from Bricklink.
Yes, Daily Bugle had these.
Those are cool. Now
So
I want some.
after I saw that, I'm like, oh crap, I have to get some of these, knowing I was going to do office buildings or skyscrapers. So I've had them sitting around.
I may have to add that to my wanted list on Bricklink.
Oh, I definitely would. Absolutely.
Cool.
But yeah, I think that just for the elevator style here, kind of focus it on that here. I do like the 2x6 tiles for the doors. I think that's a great technique.
I don't have any of those yet. They're on my list, but yeah, that works great.
Yeah, that was also Daily Bugle inspiration too. That was just a great design that they did. And then just putting these over that, so those 2 arrows, is just it completes that look. It's absolutely perfect. It's better than anything else I think I could have done.
And I like the floor tile pattern that you did in front of it too.
Yeah, on the second floor here, I just kind of started that work. I haven't done anything else here yet, but I at least wanted to kind of mirror, at least in the elevator corridor, the look I had going with this one.
Yeah, I mean, those look like they're dark green, I presume, and it contrasts very nicely against the white.
I don't think they're dark green. I forget what the Lego term for it is. I think they're almost like the traditional regular green,
Really?
not the
Okay, it's hard to
base
tell
plate
from
green.
here. They look dark green to me, but
So I'll take out my container. I've got the tiles here. So I've got a number of different colors in here. I mean, there's like 3 or 4 shades of green just in here.
yeah,
Between
I
lime
can see
green.
dark greens in there, and I can see bright greens in there too. But yeah,
Yeah.
like you've got a whole bunch of dark greens in there, which is what I think those are.
Yeah, it definitely does. It does work well for that. So I wanted to kind of mirror at least that for the corridor. I'm thinking with this section here, what I'm going to do for the main floor of the office, I'm probably going to do some 2x2 stuff in a similar vein because I've got a bunch of green tiles here in that
Yep.
same color.
That's
So
not the same. Is that the same color?
That is the same color. That's what it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, interesting. Maybe that is regular green then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I want to do that mixed with some of the 1x2 whites to at least kind of distinguish the floor a little bit too. I don't want it to just be all white inside there, especially with the desk being all white as well.
Yeah, all white would start to be a little bit boring.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, I started building out the 2 conference rooms on this floor with all whites. So they started out as all white, and then as I looked, I'm like, it's going to be washed out so much even with that. So I went back and I changed those to tan, and then I think it was Greg actually that had a good suggestion to try some transparent bricks in there, which I did then. I'm like, oh my god, that's perfect. I love that.
I was actually going to comment on that. I saw that right as you went live. It's like, oh, that I have I don't know 1,000 of those bricks because those were on the wall at my store a couple of years ago, and because I like glass so much, I bought a ton of those, and they are great for stuff like that.
And the thing is, too, I like those better than the other option I could have used, which I got a bunch of these guys off of my pad wall.
They don't have the same character. I have a bunch of those too. And those work great for windows, like outside windows, but not what you're trying to do there.
Exactly. So I think that really did complete the look. It feels like an office conference room, so I'm very, very happy with that.
Yep. Yep.
I have to highlight this. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was about to read that.
This is like the 3rd time I think Greg has actually had a great suggestion for me, so I have to give him his due credit where it's applicable. A couple other little things I'm doing, just some file cabinets. I've got literally a ton of these 1x2 jumpers. I just want to use them where I can.
Yeah, and actually, jumpers are one of my favorite pieces. They're so useful for so many things.
Absolutely. And this actually came from the set that I built this weekend, that Spider-Man No Way Home Sanctum Workshop set. And I was like thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? It'd be kind of fun just to have a couch in the WeWork suite.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So they can sit back and relax for a few minutes while they're thinking about their next Kickstarter project or whatever they're doing.
Yeah, that's one of the few things I like to build are couches and chairs, but I need to figure out a way if I can build them smaller because oftentimes they're because of the fact that you're going to put arms on, they become quite a bit wider than I might like to have otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, this is a nice, easy technique, what they used for it. It's just, basic 2x3 bricks, some of these slope pieces here and on the sides. It's really simple.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good size for a couple figs. I don't think this will take up too much space. So I might actually use this or a similar build, maybe different colors, on the 3rd and 4th floor, which will be a dedicated company as opposed to like the WeWork thing.
Yeah, for a build like this, they're great, but I'm working on something else right now where the section I'm putting them in, it's one of the bunkers. I don't know if you remember my bunker builds, but it's a 16 by 16 area. So trying to fit any furniture into there is a challenge.
Absolutely.
You can do it, and it just doesn't leave you a lot of room for anything else.
Yeah, that is the challenge of doing the interior detailing, is how to fit so many awesome things inside. I mean, even with these conference rooms, I built out what I thought was a large space inside each of these floors, right? And then I started building out the 2 room spaces, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to try to actually fit a bunch of stuff in there.
Right.
To make it feel kind of realistic. So I put a screen, which I think can be like a large TV,
Yep.
on the wall of each side here. And I've got like a little computer kind of thing, and then putting a table and chairs in there. And it quickly became a case of like, I'm running out of space already.
Yeah, I did similar conference rooms for my library build a while back. I got a comment on one thing that Greg said, because he said I need to get more of those jumper panels, and that made me think of something.
Mhm.
That first hotel that I was talking about, the 14,000 piece hotel, that hotel build used 1,200 1x2 white jumpers because I was using them to set the windows back by half a stud, and there's so many windows in that build. So that was yeah, you end up using a lot of them quickly.
And actually, since you commented on that, Dave, I will show this as well for folks that are not really familiar with how I did this. And this is inspired by your build. Those are set back on jumpers, so they're half a stud back.
Yep.
I
I like
a bunch of black ones.
ingots. Are those tan ingots that were on the wall?
So they were on somebody's wall, and I saw in the PAB group on Facebook, and I said, "Get me some."
Yeah, because I've seen them on several walls, but they've never been on mine, and they definitely add some nice character to a build.
Yeah. So after I use what I have, I still have this left.
Oh my gosh! Holy cow! That's one of the kind of pieces that's a very good deal from Pick-a-Brick, because you can fit so many of them in a cup.
Oh, absolutely. And I like to brag to people about what I do when I go to my store, because it's just funny. And even if Steve, the store manager, is on, he wouldn't care, because he knows this is what I do. But I go in, and I'll pull it out from my door here so I can reach over. So I got my Lego Masters bag from a year or so ago.
Yep, I've got one of those too.
And I've got one of my PAB cups. And I usually bring one or two of these guys, these smaller paper bags.
Yep.
And basically what I do is I just go up to the wall, and I use my cup to fill things up, and I will go over, sometimes by a lot, and I will dump into the paper bag.
Yep.
And I can usually get 3+ cups into each bag that I do.
And they're fine with you doing it that way?
They are fine. They trust me at my word when I say I've got, 3 cups, and they charge me for the refillable rate.
Cool.
They don't question me on it, because I'm there frequently at this point. They know I'm a valued customer.
Well, a similar story from me back before COVID. This is literally true. I kept a Lego bag and several Pick-a-Brick cups in my car with me at all times, so that if I was on the way home or going out somewhere and I realized I need to go to the Lego store, I had cups with me so I could do refills. You got a PAB emergency, you need to have the cups. So I just kept them with me.
I should consider doing that with my bag. But unfortunately, because of the direction I drive to and from work, it is the complete opposite direction of where I would have to go for the Lego store. And it's just not convenient for me to do during the week.
Yeah.
So I usually do plan to go on the weekend.
I also got one of those fabric Lego bags sometime a year or two ago, and those are really nice, because I'll just bring that with me most of the time.
I don't think I remember seeing one of those. What was it? Something the store offered?
I think it was something you could buy, but I got it for free because I bought enough stuff. Or maybe the store manager he said, "Here, Dave, take one of these. You're a good customer." Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah. Very cool.
So what do you got on the agenda for are you going to do building today, or are we just talking mostly?
I figured we'd do a little bit of talking first. I wanted to make sure that you had time to talk about everything that you were doing, show off a little bit of what I did. I know you do have limited time, so I want to make sure we covered some ground with that first.
Yep. But I've got more interesting photos to show if you want to go back to that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Once we finish up with you, I'll be glad to kind of do some building.
Yeah. So let me do one thing here. There we go. So these were kind of fun. These trees here. Can I zoom in on this? No, I can't. Not here. Oh, yes, I can. It's not really sharp, but there we go. These are mostly using the three stem flower pieces, and in order to get the roundish shape, there's like 3 of the I forget what they're called. Not Travis bricks. Maybe it is Travis bricks. The brick with 4 studs on all 4 sides. And I
Yes,
think
yes.
there's 3 of them in here. And in the middle of them, I actually stacked multiple of these 3 stem pieces to make it stick out farther. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay, yeah.
And then at the top, I used a 6 stem one to fill in the top to make it look nice.
Yes. That's something I really am I still need to improve on myself is bettering myself with different tree making looks and skills and techniques and all that stuff.
Yeah, I am a huge fan of foliage because it just adds so much to a build and it adds color. And so I've worked really hard. I could still get a lot better, but I've worked really hard trying to figure out different tree techniques and stuff. And it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I see folks like what Daryl does, for instance, with his, and what I know like Jang Bricks has done with some of his stuff, and especially with as he's been working on his zoo rebuild, some of the stuff he's done recently with those trees, and they look fantastic. I'm like, I really got to figure out how to do some of this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So there's an interior shot of the first floor occupied spaces. And then I just, put those black plate. I think those actually came off the wall as well. I think those are largely 6x8 black plates that happened to be on the pick brick wall at the time. And if you just buy those, it's not terribly space efficient, but if you stack them right, they become fairly reasonable to do.
Yes, just like this.
Yeah, exactly.
My wall actually still has them on there, as a matter of fact.
And then here's a shot of the post office, like I was talking about. There's the post office boxes.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but now we get to, there's a shot of the mostly finished building. What I didn't take a shot of, I mean, there's a shot of the building where you can see the roof, but that was before the roof was finished. But I did take some shots of just the roof of what I did to finish it. So I did this little building here, but this is what so that's a little jacuzzi that I did. And then I built a table here with a couple of umbrellas. That's some HVAC equipment that I put a barrier around to make it quieter for the poor minifigs that are trying to, have lunch out here. Then don't want to be bothered by the air conditioner. And then I had a lot of fun with this because, again, I like foliage. And that was raised up a layer and had a couple steps up to it.
I really like that. That's a great addition to the roof there, especially because it helps break up that black so much. And it's just so colorful.
Yeah, again, you just need more color in there. And it was pretty easy to build. This was a short version of the same tree. It was just like a shrub instead. And then just random other little pieces of foliage. So yeah, I thought that really helped out a lot.
Yeah, it looks great. I like that a lot. And I love the jacuzzi just hanging out there.
Yeah, and then these are also fun. I forgot about these. These, let me see here. Oh, they weren't on here yet. But yeah, I made these little, they're stuck onto snot bricks. And every other one I rotated by 45 degrees. Yeah. So just to give it some extra texture on the building. I think I was trying to get close to what the real building had on it. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That does give it a lot of character, that line.
There's the jacuzzi, complete with all your controls and stuff for it. And you can actually see, I don't know if you, the reason this gets darker is because it actually, does it go down? I don't know if it goes down or if I just put darker in to make it look darker, the plates underneath. I think that's what I did, but that gives
it does look like there's depth. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there really is, but it looks like there is. And that's it. That's everything.
Very cool though. Very, very cool build all around. And hopefully folks can kind of see based on what Dave has shown us why once I saw that when I think he shared it in a Discord, if I recall. Initially he shared a picture of it. And I was like, oh my God, I love this. And then Dave kind of got a hold of me privately and said, hey, here you go. So
yeah, Matt is the first person I've shared a studio design with. And yeah, he asked and I said, yeah, sure, that's fine.
And unfortunately, that was a while back that he did that. And I kind of put it off for a while, but I finally got other projects done I wanted to do. And I wanted to go ahead with this one because I know Dave had been kind of waiting on me to do it a little bit. He wanted to see what I would do with it. And I finally got some other parts too. But I'm, again, very, very glad that Dave was gracious enough to share his work with me, to kind of entrust me with the build that he designed, and to kind of do my own inspiration from that.
I was telling Matt when we were talking before we went live, it's interesting for me to be on a stream watching someone tenderly improving something that I built in the first place. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
cool. So anybody have any questions they may want to ask Dave while we've got him here? I know Dave's got some little bit of time this evening, but I wanted to make sure we had as much time to throw things at him when we could, since he's my
probably
special
be here for
guest.
about another. I can probably be here for about another 20 minutes. So yeah, if there's if we can hang out talking or build, if they've got questions, that's fine too.
Okay. And at this point, if I know we've got a few people on here based on at least the stats I'm seeing, I did want to consider opening it up to a couple more people if they want to join as well. Since I got through making sure Dave had a dedicated floor space to talk about everything I wanted to go through with him.
Wow, I'm special.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool though to have other people in here.
So I know Scotty's was around. I don't know if he still is or not. But let me go ahead and just throw this out there. I know Greg may or may not be able to join. He said he has a couple of other things going on. But if folks want to drop in and ask some questions with Dave on the air, you can feel free. Or we can just hang out and chat. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get started with some of my work as well, since that's part of the reason that folks are around usually.
Yep. So I got another question for you, because I was watching your stream last week and I made an assumption, and I think I'm right, but the back wall, is that light bluish gray?
You betcha.
Yeah, because you've got some masonry bricks in there, and I noticed, and those I have plenty of as well. I think those were on the wall earlier this year or late last year as well.
Yeah, both of those were items on the wall, so I took advantage of having that and a little bit of excess. And because the way that this is going to be oriented in the city, at least in my current configuration, a lot of this will be against a taller building. So I didn't think it was really necessary to, I don't want to say waste, but waste some of that extra stuff.
No, you're absolutely right. If it's going to be backed against another building, yeah, no, you're completely right.
Yeah. And we've got Mayo, one of my Australian buddies here, joining. Welcome, Mayo.
Hello. Hello.
Hey,
Mayo.
Yeah, I just wanted to say first thing first. Greg, that's a really good prototype, and Matt, I think you've done a very good job recreating that prototype. It looks like a very what's the word? It looks like a very kind of mid-century style building, and I generally like the mid-century colors.
Yeah, I'm not really experienced with any kind of architecture. As I've told some folks before, and I told Dave this too, as we've talked about things over time, I'm somebody that tends to just build, hands-on, just doing it. I might have a little bit of inspiration from something, but I just build from parts on hand most of the time, especially now I've got a lot of supply from pad walls. So that's just a lot of where this comes from a lot of the time. This design was inspired by Dave's build. I wanted to kind of pull in some of the aspects of it. But like, for instance, the whole ingot brick thing here. This is completely me. Wanted to break up some of that just brick design a bit with what I had available. And I was thinking about
the light nougat?
No, they are tan. They're regular light tan.
I actually haven't seen those colors of the ingots before.
Yep. And yeah, I got very lucky that my store did not have those. I've watched them because I think they're a fantastic a piece to have. But I'm on this Facebook group. I don't know if there's anything equivalent in like Australia or Europe or not, but there's one that's in the US. A number of folks run it. It's basically a PAB exchange group, pick a brick exchange group.
Yes, folks, I'm in one of those as well, because my local Lego store is coming up on 12 months old now, and some of the I think one of the store employees sent out some information to some of the regular customers of the VIP program, and they're able to get they're able to get a picture that just isn't just that's more fancier than just taking pictures of the pieces inside of the trays or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
The tubes that the bricks are in, and I think one of the store employees puts out the pieces on just a grey table, and is able to send those pictures out to one of the moderators, and then one of the moderators is able to share an image of all of the pieces that are available on the pick-a-brick wall, and that's how I'm able to see what pieces is on my local Lego store's pick-a-brick wall. And it's actually really easy for me to get there because it's only half an hour away. And those kind of Facebook pages are always going to be beneficial to those who are trying to build MOCs quick, fast, in a hurry.
Oh, absolutely. No question about that.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I have somebody here in the area who's also in my lug, who's kind of taken over my role. I used to go to the pick-a-brick wall or the Lego store once a week, sometimes twice a week, mainly to look at the wall. I haven't done that really much since COVID, but he still goes all the time because he's a new AFOL, and he takes photos and posts them on the Facebook group. So I'm able to go see if the Lego store has anything. It's like, oh, I should go over there and grab some stuff.
So,
by the way, I like the use of one of the things I really like about your use of the ingots is that it adds depth and texture to the builds. I would love to have done something like that on mine. It really looks nice.
It definitely does. And part of what is a little bit of a challenge as I look at the interior work is I did set the, actually, let me go into these out just for context. Again, go back to pad supplies. My wall had a bunch of these guys, these snot bricks available. So I had grabbed cups of these. Yeah.
Holy cow. I've never seen those on the wall. I'm jealous. Those are really useful.
Let me make you a little bit more jealous, Dave. Here's my container right now.
Oh, wow. It's got to be a couple hundred in there.
Easily. And I've used a number already for a couple of projects. But they kind of became the basis for doing this all these columns here. I took out just regular tan and I use them as a basis, but they're jumpered back, so they're back half a stud, and then the ingot bricks kind of match up a little bit more.
Oh, they're jumpered. Oh, that's nice.
Because if I didn't jumper them back, they would stick out a little too much for my preference.
Yeah.
But because of that, like when I was doing the conference rooms, I can show this. There's the jumper piece right there. You can see that tan that's kind of down at the bottom there, below the snot brick column on the right.
Oh, yeah.
It caused an issue on both sides. Keep cycling up there. So I ended up having to do a snot technique as well to kind of put like a tile piece in here, just to close off a little bit of that, so I didn't have this massive gap between the wall and the other bricks.
Oh, interesting. And
then both sides are kind of like that. But there is, you can kind of see right there, just a little bit of an opening because of that. And without me changing everything completely, that was the easiest way I figured out to at least make that feel semi-realistic.
Yep. So, Mayo, what time is it where you are?
Right now in South Australia, it's 11:19 a.m.
Okay.
Oh,
and that's on Wednesday, right?
Yes, Wednesday.
Yeah.
So let me show folks real quick. I've been playing around a little bit with this over the last couple days. This is kind of the look that I'm going to be going for. Let me kind of full screen here real quick. There we go. That's kind of what I'm going for this floor. So a couple desks back to back, some file cabinets along each desk. I forgot to show this, but I also have a copier.
The technique that you use for the lights is very, very cool. The little desk lamps.
Very, very, very cool little techniques. Just a couple of pieces. I forget what they're called, but
yeah, I don't ever know what either of those two pieces are called. But
so these guys, one of those arm pieces.
Those pieces, I believe, are the 1x1 round tiles with the mini peg hole extension.
Right, but what's the other one called? The other one is it's like an arm of some kind.
Is it the one with the light attached to it underneath that creates the lamp?
I'm not sure
what those are either.
I think that one is a modified 1x1 round plate with the too long bar extension.
Yep, and Greg has it spot on. That's what I thought of too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some people have called that colloquially the spoon piece.
It's kind of what it looks like, but that's my
Right, there's
collection.
that
of those
one.
guys.
And then where's the other one, Matt? The bottom part of it?
So the middle part that I'm also using is this guy right here, this little arm piece.
Oh, that's what they are. Okay.
that is.
I couldn't
Yeah,
quite tell yeah, okay. I have some
believe
of those.
I believe Bricklink calls that the clip and receiving bar hole adapter or something.
I'm sure there's some funky name to it. Now I will I will say this. The way that I want to have them oriented to make it look more like the Lookstar lamp, as Greg was saying, I'm technically doing what would be an illegal thing here because they're not clamped down and just angling them in there. Now, if they
Right.
were legal, they would be like this. Of course, that's completely legal.
But I don't really think you're stressing the part much when you do that.
No, it's just kind of just hanging up in the middle, so it may look illegal, but it's not stressing anything. It's just kind of hanging there. So I'm sure it's fine because it's still clipped in.
I just looked on the Bricklink and it's actually a simpler name. I thought it would have adapter, but it's actually just bar holder with clip. That's nice.
Oh, okay. Simple enough.
I thought they would have put the adapter in the name.
Oh, and then something else I did want to show because I forgot to do this earlier. And Dave was showing me some of his stuff before we got on when we were doing the backstage thing. But I also did a little multifunction device, as we call them in the IT realm, a copier device. And I will say in my case, this is kind of inspired from something I saw on, I think, again, on Instagram. Slightly modded for what I wanted to do. But I think this looks really cool. It's got,
you've even got like a keyboard on the top. That's cool.
Yeah. And I wanted to use something, for actual controls and all that. And I think that this, for what I had, this tile piece is probably the closest thing that looked fairly good for it.
Yeah.
And that's from Star Wars, I believe.
I think you're right, 'cause I remember looking that up. I like the look of the tile, so I've got a number of those. The one that I saw on Instagram, I didn't want to use it for this case, but it was one of these guys. Like, that doesn't look right to me for a copier user interface.
I've got about 100 of those things in a bag that I've been using for one of my mocks that I've been working on for the past 2 years.
Yeah, this is what I would call all of my computer and whatever related kind of tile stuff. So I've got a little bit of a collection here of various things.
I like to separate those in my collection.
I was going to use these guys for the computer screens, but then I found those stickers that I was talking about a little while ago. I went with that instead because I'd like to save those computer pieces. They're a little bit more expensive depending on where you go on Bricklink and whatnot. I figured why not use some stickers and make it kind of my own. So that's where that came
know what
from.
you should do with that copier is you should put your Sigvig sitting on the spot where that pointed tile is for the document. And then
let's see here.
and then you should post it. Then you should make an Instagram post that you're Xeroxing your butt.
And
there you go.
Matt,
jeez. Gotta have a little bit of fun here.
By comparison, this is the entirety of my collection of ingots.
Ooh.
That's all I have.
All right, Dave, I'll make you a promise. If I see stuff on my pad wall, I'll let you know.
I usually am not. I mean, I could have reached out to somebody, but it's not important enough for me to go through that. But they'll probably show up on my wall eventually, I'm guessing.
And this, let me go back to my view here. This is my other ingots collection right here. I've got some other stuff mixed in just because of space issues.
Oh, so your other ingots is about the same size as mine, and then you add the tan ones. Okay. Yep. Now I feel better.
The tan ones were a whole separate thing. They got their own dedicated drawer because there's so many of them. See, Greg says he's looking on Bricklink. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. Yep. Greg wants to buy more parts for his buildings. It's always fun.
Yep.
Let's see. So, does anybody have any other things they might want to ask Dave about? Well, we've got this master here with us.
Yes, I just want to ask something very quickly. That Christmas tree build to the left of you, is that a MOC?
That's actually not Lego.
Oh,
That's a ceramic tree that I
really-
bought from Costco.
Because that looked really convincing from this angle.
It definitely does. It looks kind of convincing just in the background.
Yeah, now you can see better. It's just a ceramic tree from Costco. It was like $30, I think.
Okay.
I just wanted something that would add a little bit of character when I was on the 24-hour live stream last Friday.
And I see that you got the crocodile locomotive and some custom tree builds.
Yep, right there. Yeah, and then these are some custom tree builds, and I've got this that I built when I was on a stream recently. This is one of the, what's it called? Tuk Tuk, I think.
Yeah, the Tuk Tuk. Yes.
Those are fun. And then
Tuk Tuk.
I built one of these also on that same stream. Oops.
Oh, very good.
I hadn't built one of those yet. And
Is that
then
the 2018 camper?
I don't know, because most of these are things that I bought a long time ago and they've been sitting in my backlog, and I finally decided I should build some. And then I just built this a couple of days ago. Come on.
Is that the Batmobile from the classic TV series
Yes.
Batcave?
Yes.
I know that a lot of
one-
people want to buy that as a separate sale.
I've actually
away
got that
from
sitting in a
buying.
box right now.
That one has special appeal to me because I was a kid of just the right age to actually watch that TV show the first time it came out live. Yeah, that Tuk Tuk is awesome, Greg. And I bought a couple of them and they're cheap. I think I want to say they're like $20, maybe not even that much.
I remember seeing those all over Instagram and various locations when they first came out last year, I think it was. Like, people were raving about that thing.
It's a fun little build.
A lot of
colorful.
people really like that Tuk Tuk build, but I prefer the scale that they did in the Lego Ninjago movie in that small $20 set.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I don't either.
Unfortunately.
Let me quickly try to find the set number.
Yeah, feel free to throw that in the chat too when you find it, Mayo. Greg's never going to let me live down how I store some of my excess pieces here.
Is there an inside joke there that I don't know about?
Depends on whether or not you've caught streams or not as I've done this, but for things I have a lot of that I don't want to put in my my larger cabinets up here, what I do, because I've got 3 cats and they're spoiled, is I've got things like this. I just throw things in there.
Ah, gotcha. Are those dark tan tiles?
You betcha.
I have about 5,000 of those because those were on the wall at my store for a long time.
Yeah, I should have gotten more than I did. And these are on the wall too for a long time, so I've got a bunch of these still.
Is that what color? Are those dark orange 1x2?
Yeah, these are the dark orange. Yep. So
the
actually,
one thing I'm very sad about that I always mention to people is that, like, a couple of months after I found out about the Lego store and was starting to buy stuff off the pick-a-brick wall, they had 2x2 light bluish gray tiles on the wall.
yeah,
And I bought half a cup because I thought, oh, that'll be plenty.
Nope.
Now I would have bought like 5 or 10 cups. I use those all the time.
And I do have a couple of other things here too of interest. Reaching over on the side here.
Wait, Greg says brick bank parts are the priority. Is he building that from his own parts?
He is.
Cool.
He is. So I've been using a lot of these 1x2 white tiles because they were on my pad wall for a long time.
Yep, me
and
too.
this time I got smart about it. And even with everything I've already used, I've still got all this too. Completely full to the lid.
Yeah, well, along the lines of maybe I went a little too far in the other direction on one particular. They had 1x1 square tiles in light bluish gray on the wall. And I bought one whole large cup, which turns out to be about 1,800 tiles.
Nice. Nice.
So it's like, I don't know what I'm ever going to do with all this, but I have plenty now. Wait,
And
what color are those?
These are the dark bluish gray.
Oh, yeah, I think they had those on my wall, so I think I have
Yep.
a few thousand of those as well.
So I
Yeah, I
grabbed as much
just
of that
found
as
the
I
set. It's 70607.
Okay. I'll look that up.
Excuse me, I'm just putting things away back on my side shelf here. I'll take another minute real quick to show people my other side of storage here. So here's portions of my storage.
So you use a combination of what looks like the acro mills and those white drawers.
That's what I use too. I use a combination of acromills and sterilite drawers.
So actually, they look like they're acromills, but they're actually not. These are actually Sears Craftsman storage drawers. I got them at Lowe's. And they're like, I don't know, $20 or something. But I mean, they basically do the same thing as the acromill. So I'm like, yep, I'm good with that.
Yep.
And they stack together really nicely, so they're pretty stable, piling up here, and it works just really well for me. Very happy with it. I love the Sterilites for doing certain things. I know a lot of folks are really into the Sterilite, as we can see behind Dave.
Yeah, I like both, but I really like the Sterilites a lot, and they're cheap.
I know a lot of people who really like the Sterilites, but to be honest, from the way I store Lego, I don't think they're a viable option because I think the drawers are just too big.
Yeah, it really depends on what you've got and how you organize. I mean, I'm still constantly changing my organization, honestly, and I've been picking up a few more of the smaller Sterlite bins, like this kind here to my side, just in case I get more PAB things. Oh, speaking of which, he's not around tonight, but I wanted to show folks this because I'll get a kick out of it. Dave, you saw this already. Now I'll come back to Dave's question. So, my good friend Ned.
Oh yeah,
sent me a pick-a-brick order from one of the stores that he goes to around Washington, D.C. It was a little delayed in getting to me, but that's okay. But I just got it today. And one of my favorite things that he does is he always decorates the bag for me. I joked with him a long time ago as he started doing this that he is an enabler. So he literally decorates it with the enabler. And he threw in a couple of PAB cups. And enjoy, which I'm sure I will.
You gonna open it so we can see what it is?
Yep. I was waiting until we got on stream to open it, and I just remembered to do that. So everybody gets to see live here what's in the container. Oh, we have another cool guest, or another cool person in chat. Tayshawn, what's up, Tayshawn? Welcome, welcome. Tayshawn has a great channel. Give him a quick plug. I enjoy seeing his work.
The name sounds familiar, but I don't think I know who that is.
Yeah, Tayshawn's, I believe, a teenager.
Yeah, that's why I think maybe he used to hang out with Peter's Pieces.
I know he's been around a number of places. I've seen him there.
I think that's where I saw him. Either that or TV bricks, or both.
So this is a potpourri of a number of things. I think he kind of did the small portions of the cups with just the rounded red plates there.
Cool.
So lots of good stuff in here, including some larger plates.
You're going to be in for a bit of sorting.
I'm totally good with that.
Yeah, I'm going to be sorting all time along on live streams with all the crap that I have to sort.
I think it's kind of fun sometimes just to do that instead of doing other stuff because you can just hang out and chat while you're sorting.
Exactly, that's what I like to do. So that's why I'm trying to grow the live stream game more and more every day. And I forgot when I was last in your stream bricks, I totally forgot to add you to the live stream game when you gave me permission. And so I was like, oh, Brooks going live in 15 minutes. Why not tell everyone else in live stream gang that you're going live, and so I just added you
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
because like I totally forgot to do so once you gave me permission. So I'm sorry. I apologize about that. I just need to get myself some water.
No worries. Oh, Dave, I just plugged Tayshawn, but I want to give you a chance to, as my guest, please plug your social media, all the stuff that you do before you have to leave us.
Really, the only thing I do is YouTube, but I can drop a link to that in the chat here. Hold on, let me
Please
go
do.
grab it. I mean, you know, I actually have Flickr, but I don't do much there, and I don't do Instagram. I don't do TikTok. I just don't.
And I do want to, please, I want to encourage folks to check out Dave's work. Folks that are on my channel know I do videos, I post some content. I do my video editing in Camtasia. It's pretty basic. I just do it for the sake of sharing my work. Dave actually does videography for a hobby, he's told me, in addition to Lego work. Dave takes a ton of pride in what he does. I want you guys to take a look at his videos. They're much better than what I do by far. And I want you guys to give Dave a lot of props for all the work that he does to present all of his amazing talks to us.
Well, my degree is in video production, and it's been one of my hobbies on and off for years. So that's why I get as much enjoyment out of making the videos as I do making the MOCs, actually.
Oh, I can definitely see that. The work that you put, even for that teaser you posted recently for your upcoming one.
Oh, that teaser was so much fun. That just popped into my head all of a sudden. And I went, oh, this is going to be good. But I did that whole thing in like a day. But
it feels professional.
Thank you. One thing that was very cool about it is that I subscribe to this music service called Artlist. And when I'm usually looking for specific stuff for my videos, but while I'm looking, if I find anything else that's like, I could use that one day, I'll just grab it because I can grab as many as I want. And I had this one in my library, and I had 3 or 4 of them. And when I got to this one, it's like, oh, this is the one. Because I was able to use the whole thing. It was only like a minute long, and it was perfect energy feel and right in motion and everything.
I think I agree with Greg. I think all of us
what it is. Good. That was the idea, to get you excited. So did my link go in okay to the chat?
I didn't see it come through. I may have to.
That's why I asked, because I know that sometimes.
Or Greg, if you want to your mod, feel free to go ahead and do it. You should be able to.
Here, I'll drop it to you in Discord. There, I sent it to you in Discord, Matt.
Perfect.
I'm back. I'm just gonna quickly make my bed, and then I'll talk again.
No worries. I know Dave's gonna have to go shortly, so I do want to take a few minutes to kind of wrap up with him here as well. So there we go. There is Dave's YouTube channel again, folks. Please check him out. Give him a sub. Show him a little bit of love for all the awesome work that he does. It's really worth it. And
thanks so much, Matt. I appreciate that.
Pretty soon, Dave's about to eclipse me, but no jealousy there or anything.
Yeah, it's actually it's so funny because that's another interesting story. A year ago, I didn't have a YouTube channel, but I was on all these streams with various different people, and people kept asking me, "What's your YouTube channel?" I didn't have one. I mean, I did, but it had like 3 videos from 6 years ago that had nothing to do with Lego.
Right.
So I finally said, "Okay, fine, I'll do it." And it turned out to be, like I said, so much fun from the video production aspect. And I usually post a video every couple of weeks now. That's the other thing. You know, I don't want to burn myself out. I have lots of other things going on, so I don't post like two. Can't talk. I don't post like 2 or 3 times a week. So I intentionally went to every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, and that seems to work out well for me. And it does take me a little bit longer on the production to do my videos, but that's okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, as I noted, it definitely shows through the quality of your work. And I think I can speak for others like Greg and, you know, others that have subscribed to you already and see your videos. You know, I know that we kind of eagerly await that every 2 weeks or so when we expect another Dave Morgan video to be posted.
See, I think that's the other thing. There are other people, like since Tayshawn is here, like unfortunately Peter's Pieces hasn't posted for a while, but he was posting every 2 or 3 weeks. And when you only see a video every few weeks, you get more excited when one shows up.
Right. And I mean, honestly, I've actually even cut my own production back just a bit because I'm doing this now, which also admittedly has kind of slowed my progress down in doing certain things, but it's okay because it gives me more content to do live when I'm with people like this.
Yeah.
But doing this, and especially now I've started using Streamer and having people join me like this, I think has become really fun. I don't want to make this my primary medium, of course. I do want to still do video content. But I think, 1 or 2 videos and doing a short is adequate for me. I don't, of course, take anywhere near the time that you do for the video production aspect because it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy sharing the content that way too.
Yeah, well, one of these days I want to try doing a stream. I didn't really have a good setup for it, and now that, oh yeah, I was wondering why that was, Tayshawn. I know TD Bricks is still uploading as not as regularly. He's actually somebody I'm in contact with on Discord, and he actually lives near me. I got him into our lug, in fact, not too long ago. But yeah, a number of T-Falls have stopped posting. I don't know if that's because of school or what. So
I noticed that too, and I figure it's because they've gone back to in-person classes, is my guess.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Hey, we got another guest here.
Yeah, you said you like having guests, so I figured I would drop in since you had the link posted, man.
Absolutely. If you want to say hi for real quick there, Scotty?
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Mayo. Hey, Dave. How you doing, brother? How's everybody in chat?
Is this Scott as in Scott's Blocks?
Yes.
Okay, I just wasn't sure because couldn't tell from your StreamYard title.
Yeah, I didn't change that from the other day. My bad.
I assume that was when you were probably on with Yeti.
No, it couldn't be.
No.
That would never be a Yeti stream type of thing, huh?
Not at all. Hey, Scotty, since you're in, did you want to throw anything out to Dave real quick before he has to take off? I'm giving folks a chance to.
I just wanted to jump in and say hi. You know what I'm saying? It's always cool to catch Dave
Absolutely.
anywhere I can. He's out there in YouTube land quite a bit.
He is. Yeah. Dave was a big celebrity over the last weekends between Friday and Saturday. Dave took part extensively in the Beyond the Brick YouTube charity stream. Actually, I managed technically too. Yeah, there was
our live stream for charity. That was a lot of fun.
There's a host of people there.
That's another reason why, it's like, yeah, I just got home from work, did this stream, which I was really looking forward to, but I've got other adulting that I have to do, and then I'm moderating for a number of different channels, and so I kind of have to balance streaming and Legoing with other stuff, sadly.
Unfortunately, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm close to retiring, and if I retire, then that'll change things.
I will note too, Dave also joins Boone fairly frequently too on a number of his streams in addition.
Yeah, Boone also lives in my area, and he's in my lug, and we've become pretty good friends, and I moderate for all of his streams. I'm also a moderator for TD Bricks and Brick Science and Beyond the Brick. Beyond the Brick was bizarre how I became. I mean, I don't get starstruck, but that one was kind of like last year when I was on the live stream. Brian Saviano had a mouthful of pizza, and there were some super chats that came in. So I said, "Hey, Brian, I know you're reading those, but since you got a mouthful of pizza, do you want me to read them?" And all of a sudden, Joshua goes, "Dave, you're doing a really good job. Are you a moderator? We should make you a moderator." He just made me a moderator right then on Beyond the Brick. Like, wow, okay.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, I only caught bits and pieces of it, and I didn't really join in full until after I finished my Saturday morning stream. But that was. I don't know if anybody here caught that or not, but that was an incredible hour plus of what went down with that stream as they wrapped it up.
And you mean the end of the one that we just did?
The end of the 24-hour one there.
Yeah, with the hot chips and the shaving and Brian's rant. Yeah, no, I mean, I've told people that stream and Bricks Cascade are the two highlights for my year. And that stream is just so incredibly fun, but I mean, it's really cool, Matt, because you get a wide variety of people, and because there's 24 hours to talk, there'll be all kinds of hijinks, shenanigans, whatever you want to call them. But there's also serious talk. I mean, we talk about all kinds of stuff, and that's one of the things that's really fun.
Absolutely. It was just, it was so funny to watch. And I'm sure you can correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but it looked like Brian literally had been going the full 24 hours plus straight.
He and Joshua were on for the full 24 hours. It was that way last year as well.
And I think Brian had said too, he also was in line on Friday to get the AT-AT at 5 a.m. So he was up like 30 something hours by the end, I think.
Yeah, and I had been chatting with him on Discord the night before saying, "Oh man, I'm like a kid on Christmas Eve. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to sleep." And he said, I'm having that same problem, and I got to get up at 5 a.m. to go get them. So, I think he only got like maybe 5 hours of sleep, if that, the night before.
Yeah. Unfortunately, at this point, I think we've missed the cutoff because I think they were ending it today. But the charity they were raising money for, what was it? I don't remember the name, Dave, but they raised like
Creations for Charity, and there was a Tiltify campaign, which I believe goes through the end of the month. But the last year they raised a little over 11,000. This year the goal was 12,000. We raised 12,000 in the first 45 minutes of the stream.
Yeah, I think they're over 31 at this point.
Yeah, we ended at like 31,300 or something like that. It's crazy, Mayo. It was very cool. So what this charity does is they take that money, and I believe they have connections with Lego to be able to buy stuff at wholesale to make their dollars go even farther. And so they buy a bunch of Lego sets with the money, and then they give them to underprivileged children over the holidays. And it's very, very cool.
Yeah, it was a great thing to see that they did that and that they got so much cash for that this time around.
Yeah. The problem is now the bar has been set so high. I don't know what's going to happen next year.
Yeah, I mean, and what they did at the end too, April and Kirk doing the chip challenge, and then Jang and Dan from Between the Bricks doing the shaving amongst other folks. And I think then Brian jumped in the shaving. I'm like, what is going on here?
That was one of the stretch goals, if you will, that they added. I had been talking to Brian also the week before about all the various different goals that they had, and they kept adding more during the stream. And yeah, that was very, very cool. Jang surprised me. First of all, he was there for about half the stream. He joined in at like 8 or 9 o'clock on Friday night, and he was there until the end. But partway through, and I didn't understand the significance of this until I did some more research later. But he was throwing out some things to try to get people to contribute more, and so he did this whole dramatic thing of eating a Slim Jim.
Yep.
But apparently there was a professional wrestler, Randy Savage, that did commercials in the 90s for that. And basically Jang was doing that. And after I saw those commercials, it's like, oh, wow.
So
did a really good job.
I have to contribute to this because I do watch him. For folks that don't know, I mean, Jang is kind of what got me back into it, watching all his stuff. And I'm a member of his Patreon. I do get behind the scenes information and things like that from him. But anyway, long story short, on his Twitch stream, he recently started a thing where if 10 people, or if 5 people, or 10 people, depending on what number, if they gift subs to other Twitch people, in that stream, he will eat either a snack size or a full size Slim Jim live on Twitch on his stream. And on that Friday night before he joined the 24-hour stream events, a couple people have done that, so he had to eat a bunch of Slim Jims for that. And then, from what I understand, when he joined you guys on the stream, he did a few more.
Yep. Well, and what was funny about that is Boone was going, I don't get it. It's just a Slim Jim. What's the big deal?
But his reaction is priceless when he does it.
It is.
And then he's doing the Macho Man bit now too, which is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and I was watching him last night, and 2 people did 10 subs each, right? Like literally back to back. It just happened. It was the timing of it. They did that. So he ate 2 of the large ones and was in the Macho Man character for about 15 minutes. Just in there trying to the bits, give me strength. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He never broke character. It was hilarious.
That's what he was doing on the Brick stream, too. And that was what was so cool, because I had never seen that side of him. And it was very, very entertaining. And it also got a lot of subs. I mean, a lot of contributions.
Oh, no. It
was exactly. Great. For the longest of time, Jang Bricks didn't want to associate himself with the community, but I think he came out of his shell once he just, I think the story is, from people that know more, I don't claim to be an expert at all, I think the story was that when he disassociated himself from the RC cars community, who had told him not to associate with other people or something. I'm just paraphrasing what people have said. I think when he disassociated himself from the RC cars community, he came out of his more shell. Well, no, he came out of his shell and started being active with people again. And it's been fantastic, because now we know that Jane Griggs actually has a personality. It's kind of like
Oh no,
it's
Yeah.
kind of
so
like when Tom
entertaining.
Brady left New England. Now we see that Tom Brady has a personality.
Yep.
I mean, I think he got, I will say, screwed over by what happened with Kappa last year on YouTube. I mean, he has said it over and over again.
Yep.
But I think he has adapted well. The fact that he's doing streaming now has really allowed him to kind of flow a lot more free and feel comfortable with it. And he honestly really is entertaining. I mean, a lot of folks, including myself, I still feel like I'm trying to kind of learn how to do this kind of stuff. But I think he's got the knack, and he does well for it. And he doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs to have anybody else necessarily on his streams, at least, to be entertaining.
Right.
And
he does a great job too. with other people.
I think he's more happier now, as well.
I think so too.
Cool. Well, I need to get going here. I could actually keep talking for another hour, but I really shouldn't. I should get some other stuff done. But feel free to invite me again, just to hang out with other people, Matt. And if I have time, I'd love to pop in on occasion.
Oh, Dave, absolutely. The invitation is always open, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. Again, folks, please check out Dave's channel. Give him subs if you haven't already. Watch his fantastic videos, and hopefully we'll see him again. Thank you so much, Dave.
All
Really,
right.
really
Thanks a
appreciate
lot.
it, buddy.
Talk to everybody later.
See ya.
Bye, Dave.
Take care, Dave. Don't miss Dave's Brick House, everybody.
Yes. Thank you so much to Dave. What's going on, Scotty? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, my man. I was lucky enough to get home in time before you started your stream, and I had you on while I was eating, and I had you on lurk mode while I jumped in the shower. And
Awesome.
when I got out, I saw that you had the link posted, and then you were talking about how you like having guests on, and of course, I love hanging with my PPP brother any chance I can get. So
Let me throw that out there again, because I know we've had a couple people join since I did. So I know. Let me say hi to Cliff. I saw Cliff is in here, and Yeti's here as well. Hey guys,
The
what's
Cajun
up?
Yeti as well.
the gruesome twosome.
Yeah.
Let me throw it out there for those peeps as well. And since Scott and May are both here, everybody that I just mentioned, Mayo, Scott, Cajun Yeti, Click and Cliff, all those guys have great YouTube channels. I want to encourage folks to subscribe to them as well. Give everybody some love.
Thank you,
Since
Matt.
you guys are hanging out.
And actually, may I interject? Before you started this stream, I actually bought StreamYard, so I think I'm gonna go live after this and just try to do some tests.
Awesome. Congrats.
I'm going to,
Oh,
Do it.
there's the guy right there. There he is.
What's
What's
going
up,
on?
Yeti?
Doc Samson.
Hello, Yeti. How are those Misfits Mafias going?
Well, I'm protecting you by not letting you back in right now. We'll talk later on that one. You understand?
Yeah. Let's
Let's not do this on
it might
stream.
be
Let's not disrupt the
wise.
stream.
It might
I don't want to confuse the audience.
it might actually be wise to hold off for a month or so.
All right, you're gonna be walking, huh? I saw you gonna be working. Walking.
Yeah.
everybody
Thank you
don't
for thinking about me, Yeti. And I think it
You won't
I
see
think
my
it must
face.
be said. I think it must be said that we're all looking forward to the Cajun Yeti 24-hour live stream
Oh
on
man.
the
I'm
17th and the
sure
18th.
Matt's ready for that too, because y'all know y'all gonna have some invites coming y'all ways. Mr. Scott Blocks is supposed to be with me that night. He just need to tell me what we're gonna be snacking on.
Scotty's going
Right.
to join you in person at the house, Yeti.
I'm going to try to. I can't make
Awesome.
any promises yet, but I'd like to.
Yeah, I'll
Hello,
try to jump on you
Yuri.
guys a little bit of time there too, if I can.
Look at this.
Hell yeah.
Look at that.
Got him in. I bricked him out today. Put them together finally.
Very
yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I was doing some master flexing backstage with Mr. Brett Bills and Clickly Cliff, but then he started showing me the real master builder, Mr. Hoosier Bricks. He's the master flexer. I ain't got nothing. After you watch that episode, you can never see that.
Very cool.
You know. No. Oh, we got somebody in chat. Who we got in the chat? Who we saying hi to out there? I see Mr. Jim G. We see Greg.
Catching up. Greg was a little busy tonight. He couldn't actually join in person, unfortunately, but I do hope to have him come back on in future streams here.
Right,
I don't have to talk to him for a second. I've never got to meet the man. Or did I meet him? I don't know. I meet so many people these days. It's like, I try to make sure I meet the right ones.
Yeah, Greg is kind of my right-hand man in terms of folks that I talk to the most in the community.
Yeah, I did see him on here. I seen him on here when the last time you went live. He was on here.
Saturday morning was last time I was on. Yeah.
Greg is Matt's Cliffy.
Yeah, basically is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah, my buddy Cliffy, I wouldn't be half of where I was at because of y'all. You know that. Y'all know that. Y'all know how it is.
Yeah. I felt like I was going to do some building tonight, but I think it's just turned into a chat stream.
Or should he say he's my right-hand man in the dress? I mean, oh man, how we get here? He's going to kill me.
Well,
ooh, yeah, he's dead.
Well, see, Matt, like what I always say, you want to have people on the panel so that you can go a long time without talking and just focus on whatever build you're building.
It's all good now. I think that's something that I'm still
working
on.
Like that's what I honestly suggest doing because I know that it's it can be hard to make small talk, and trying to think about small talk for a lot of builders distracts them from thinking about what pieces they're going to put down next.
I mean, I've been streaming now for a few months just on my own, and that's been distraction enough as it is, trying to keep engaged and talking to people in chat too.
Exactly, and if you've got other people to do that for you, then you can spend more of the minutes on your live stream actually building your fantastic mocks.
Thank you. Yeah, and I know he couldn't join us tonight, but I mean, Greg has been pretty good so far about coming to hang out in my streams, and he kind of, as it was alluded to, he kind of is he's my version of Clicking Cliff, so to speak. So he's kind of the person that I think would kind of help me out a lot of that stuff as he's getting more used to the idea of being on too. And hopefully he wouldn't mind that idea.
Right.
He's bounced around a few things done, as he just said.
I wanted to say earlier, Dave was hanging out with Boone before Boone was cool.
Yeah, they're
they've been knowing
friends for a little while. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's kind of making me laugh. I'm just this little guy here, less than 500 subs right now, and I know Dave Morgan, and Dave Morgan knows Boone and all these other folks that are like well known across the community and all that stuff. And hey, 1 degree of separation now.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I think everyone here on this panel is less than 500 subs.
Yep.
At this point, yeah, I believe that's correct. I'm at 470 or so right now, last I checked.
Yeah, you're close, brother.
We're gonna have mock, huh?
What you say, Yeti?
I said he's still Mr. Matt's still working on that beautiful mock that he's making right there, huh?
Yeah, it's been a little slow tonight, but I definitely have made a little progress over the weekend or so. I was showing off that I made some desks for this floor here. I've got some file cabinets, just some basic stuff.
Ooh. Flexing.
All the details.
Flexing, right?
Flexing ain't easy, but somebody got to do it.
Definitely gonna flex on my stream, absolutely. I took this couch out of the Spider-Man Sanctum workshop set that I built Saturday morning. I'm like, you know what? This will look good in this little build here. So I put it right in here. I'm gonna use that. And I built this.
They had a red couch like that in the last Harry Potter Advent calendar, right? It was in dark red.
Oh, I don't collect the Advent calendars, unfortunately, although I probably should do that.
Because the reason why I love the Advent calendar so much, buddy?
Because they got cool builds in there, right?
It's the ports, bro. It's
Yeah.
like Mr. Brett says all the time when he looks at certain themes, he's like, I see castle ports.
I can definitely see Brett saying that. And the other thing I was showing off before some folks jumped on here is I was showing off this nice little pad haul that I got from one of my good friends, Ned. Bunch of stuff in here, a whole potpourri I get to have fun sorting out.
Looks like some good stuff in there, though.
Lots of good plates of various sorts. A lot of things I just wanted to refill my inventory with, actually.
Oh, yeah.
If it's from the Enabler, it's going to be good.
Ooh.
It is from the Enabler.
He could almost change that to his name, to his YouTube name.
Oh, he knows he's the Enabler. That's his role.
God bless him.
He's not doing it as much lately, but that's okay. But he was on a roll doing it for a lot of folks for a while because he had a goal of getting as many VIP points as he could so he could get the Falcon. And he did that.
Nice. Very cool.
He got that many points to get the Falcon off of VIP points.
That's pretty awesome.
Dude, I want that Falcon, but I don't want to pay I don't want to bite the bullet for it.
Oh, is that?
And then Scott, he hasn't said that I really want right now.
Are we going back to
offered him so much money for it, but nope. I've offered him money. I've offered him Lego. I've offered him crap. I've offered him stuff, but nope.
Scotty, what are you hiding, Scotty? What is it?
He's trying to take a tree from me, man. I don't give up the trees too easily, bro.
Yeah, but ain't that tree that he's talking about right there? He has that Christmas tree gift with purchase.
Oh, interesting.
And if I had the parts to brick it out, I would just go brick it out.
Yeah, I missed out on a lot of Christmas gifts with purchases too because I got back into it so late, unfortunately.
Yeah, I did too. And that was a 2019 gift with purchase, and I missed it out because I didn't really know too much about Lego. I was already back in by November, but I wasn't really like hardcore collecting by then. And then Scott's like, "I'll go home, it's sealed. Look at this. Ooh, that's the flexing."
I got this one a couple weeks ago for the Black Friday event. This one's okay, but it doesn't compare to that tree that you guys are talking about.
That tree is massive. I want it in the middle of my city. But no, Scott don't want to hook a brother up. I'm just thinking, man. I'm just messing with you, Scott. It's all love, buddy.
I know. I saw that you uploaded a video about the Black Pearl Yeti.
Yes, he
the
did.
Black Pearl? Ooh, really?
Dude, it was so awesome to see that thing in person.
Yep. He got to see the Black Pearl. He got to see the room. He got to see the Yeti. You know, he's still Yeti affected. You know, he got to go in there and actually see the Yeti's network and everything, how we do it, the magic behind. And it's like I say to anybody that I personally, you know, would like to meet. You know, that's the reason why I'm going to Alabama, so we can meet some more people. You know.
Nice,
oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah. I need to come up there with you, man.
Oh man, I'm going on the 15th, 16th, to 7th. You know, I'm gonna try to go for the whole weekend if I can.
Right.
Rock
I'm
on.
gonna go that 16th, 17th, and 18th, and and stay there because I mean I'm gonna be paying for it this week. You know, I'm gonna go up there, and then I don't know where I'm gonna get a hotel room at yet. I haven't heard from anybody that showed me where to get the hotel room yet.
Right.
But if I have to, I'll stay off of the site every single day, and I'll just show up and then with my badges and that and get in there, you know?
Right.
I was telling Dave earlier that one of my goals this next a Lego convention of some kind and just try to meet some people and see things like up close and in person, and not just see it through Instagrams and Discords and YouTube videos. Like I actually want to go and see something for myself.
Right. I hear you.
Amazing.
We had a so-called Lego convention 3 years ago was the first year it ever came through. And I had watched many videos of other Lego conventions. So my expectations were high. And what they had was not up to my expectations at all. But as they say, something's better than nothing.
Right.
That's just like I did the unofficial lug and today. I went in there and I showed some stuff off in there, and they're like, "What?" You know, I've been got private messages like, "Where have you been? Where have you been?" And it's like, so I was so I went in there and showed off the plural and stuff like that, and then Mardi Gras man hits me up. He's like, "Where have you been?" And it's like, "Dude, I've been live streaming. I've been on YouTube. Like, where have you been?"
Right?
I'll say the closest that I've come to actually getting to anything was before everything happened with the pandemic. Back in October of 2019, not long after I got back into everything, not far from where I live up here in central New York State, there's actually a model train convention was being held in a local town. And I
Nice.
found out that one of the local lugs was actually going to be over there. So I was like, oh, they're going to have some Lego. I'll go check that out. And I walked in, and it was actually the reason that they were there is because their lug focuses on train stuff. So they have a
Right.
bunch of train stuff around the various buildings and stuff that they had brought with them. And it was kind of cool to see that.
That's
But
right.
that was not really a Lego convention. It's more of the other stuff. And stereotypically, I guess I would say, a lot of older folks, retired folks, that do the model train stuff, they were the ones that were there.
Yeah.
But it was cool, though.
Right. And then just to see some Lego train stuff, at least, that's right up my alley.
Well, from what I'm hearing is that we're not gonna see trains for a long time. Because like they said you got the cargo train, you have the passenger train, and you have the Harry Potter train, and that's exactly what they've been talking about a lot lately. And that's what Legos throws in the face of everybody who wants trains. And I mean, it's unfortunately, I'm
Yeah.
hoping that we get a new one, but I'd like to try to pick up that cargo train before it goes out.
I should get myself, even though I don't have trains in my city, I really should get that cargo train before it retires, just so I've got
Yeah,
something if I
that
plan in
cargo
the
train's,
future.
that cargo train's gonna jump up just like the blue one did. Look at the Emerald Knight, man. The Emerald Knight went for what, $100 USD?
Mhm.
So it's going already.
Well, I
Crazy.
apologize for the echo,
$1,200.
but I am such
That's
a
$30.
sucker for Lego trains. I've got two of the cargo trains.
There you go.
I don't want to hear you flexing over there, Mayo.
Oh, he's flexing.
Don't make me show you that red beard.
I got lucky.
Because like
got
I
lucky with
only collect the cargo trains. I've got the 2011 passenger train all broken up,
That needs to be
but
fine.
I don't collect the passenger trains.
Yeah, the only one I've actually got right now, and I just got it because I happened to catch it cheap, was that the 2014 or 2015, the white bullet train one?
Yeah, that
I
thing.
got
That thing. I think at some stores you can still find that on shelves, which is ridiculous.
that. It's amazing if you can.
Because like that, it was so overproduced. No one was buying it because it's a terrible design, but a great runner. But it's a terrible design, so no one was buying it. They made so many. You could see that thing selling multiple stores all day long for like 60% off. It was crazy.
But I mean,
Yeah, I've been through a
yeah, I'm so in love with having the monorail in my city right now, though, that's the focus of what I'm doing. No room for train stuff at this point.
And you say I flex with two of one of the lesser cargo trains. Here you are talking about the monorail.
Monorail is my pride and joy, man. I love that thing. And that's because when I was a child and that was out there, I never had it. So I missed my chance to have it as a kid. The first thing I told myself when I got back in and I started doing my own city again as an adult was I'm going to do whatever I possibly can to get an actual monorail as a centerpiece in my city.
Oh yeah, man. Congrats.
The pride and joy of my collection is probably the old Trafford Stadium.
Ah, very nice. Yep, Greg knows. Monorail. That's right. I'm not sure if you guys all know this though. I have said it in a couple of my videos and live streams and stuff before, but the track that I have, at least the straight track, is actually not true Lego. It's 3D printed track.
Yep.
And that's how I
Would
was
that either
actually
be
able to
from
do it.
Twix Bricks or 40 Bricks?
Nope. Let me go on my main camera here 1 second. Go live up on mine. So this is an example of it. This is one of the straight tracks that my friend Mike actually produces on his printer.
Oh, he's flexing some 3D printing.
Yep.
This is after some trial and error to get to this point too.
So
You got to do a lot with that trial and error stuff, especially with the 3D printing.
yeah, and I was kind of I was his test for it. A year or so ago, he started doing it, and he doesn't use ABS. He uses the PLA, which is kind of the regular filament that 3D
Y'all want to get
printers
sick?
use.
My
But I mean-
buddy literally left his monorail with the actual track in his attic, and they had to throw out the track and haul on the monorail, the original monorail, the city one. They had to throw it complete away because the fact is of the mold that was inset into the Lego.
Oh,
That's sad.
Oh, that is. Oh, thank you for the plug, Greg. That is the link to my friend Mike's eBay shop where he sells these. So I'm going to give him a
How much
massive
does he
plug
sell
again.
them for a piece USD?
He does these, I think, for like $8 or $9.
Wow, that's not bad.
And this is, an entire base plate basically. It's 30 studs long.
And it probably takes like an hour or so to print that, I would think.
It takes time.
Yeah.
And he used the free license, it's in the free domain, not public domain. He used the stuff that came from, I think, it might have come from, I forget who it came from. God, I'm blanking out now. But it's on
Right.
Thingiverse. It's on Thingiverse. It's available for anybody to download if they want a 3D print. But he took it and slightly modified it so he could put a couple more clutch points here for doing the stanchions, as opposed
Right.
to just the ends and the middle piece here. And I will admit, it's not perfect. Like on this one, for example, you can see
It gotta be perfect. No, I'm just picking.
there's a small bit of a crack there. But I mean, the teeth are robust. It looks fantastic. It's a nice color. It's not like that kind of light yellow bluish gray or gray. But I mean, if you guys just watch the videos, you wouldn't even be able to tell. I would think what it is, and that's what I take pride in.
Yeah, it's more about anyway.
I mean, honestly, what makes it look kind of bad is the fact when I put curves in there. The curves are the original Lego track, and those look light, and they kind of throw off the rest of the track.
Right. But I mean, it's really not that big of a difference. And I'm looking more at the monorail itself as opposed to the track.
Right. I mean, that's the entertaining part, is watching the train going across, right?
Especially with the new addition.
You know what made me mad is that they put out a $200 city set, right? It only showed us shopping holes, right? They put you a monorail card in there, but yet no monorail tracks.
Yeah, that ridiculous town center set that came out last year that everybody was like hyped up on.
AKA the Lego Troll set.
Yeah.
They could at least, if they can't print the monorail, they could redo the monorail to where that they can build, because this is Lego, correct? Okay, so you can make a monorail in a different size track. They did it for Duplo. They did it for everything else. Why can't they do this for City?
Why not do something for the roller coaster track?
I think that's kind of what I don't want to make judgments for them or assume what they're assuming, but
Right.
I think that they're seeing people just doing that now.
Yeah, something tells me I think Lego would be more likely to try, like, if they ever wanted to bring back the monorail, I think they'd find a way to do a powered up motor that you can use with the roller coaster track.
Yeah, you could do it. I've seen a couple of tutorial videos that you could do that now. You don't have to have the 9-volt anymore. They got away from it because they stopped torturing kids.
Well, that's what they
You
say.
probably won't see this.
Even though the model train companies can still do it, why can't
Hashtag
Lego?
monorail battle pack.
I think if they came out with something monorail related, it would sell like hotcakes in the AFL community. It
Yeah.
would
Oh,
fly
dude,
off
you won't be able
shelves.
to find it.
Yeah.
It would take you at
Just
least 6
like
months
how
to get your hands on it.
if Lego got the NFL license away from Oyo or whoever has it in the US, that'd sell like hotcakes. But Lego will never do that, and they'll never try to get back the NBA license either,
Right.
because like
Well,
CD
it's too expensive to get the NBA
C3
license back.
Constructions has the license.
Yeah.
The NBA license was very expensive. That's the reason why they don't want it. They don't want none of that. They want to stay away from stuff like that, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Just
I don't either.
hashtag make Lego great again, huh?
Well, the NBA license is my favorite license that Lego's ever done. Even more so than the Santa Fe and the Burlington Northern license and the TTX license that they got.
I was talking to somebody else in another live stream earlier today, just in chat, and I said I just would honestly love to see them go back to their roots and just do some of the, the OG stuff and do more freaking castle and space stuff.
Well, you know
Exactly.
you know what their
That's what
answer was
everyone's
to that
been
in land,
saying.
right?
That's what everyone's been saying for decades now.
Hold on, they did answer that question in the land meeting because I'm not in land or an ambassador, but you can sign up land and watch their meetings. You can't comment or say anything, but they did ask that question by making you puzzled and scratching your head. By answering this, they said we gave y'all 3 and 1.
That's what they said. That's their excuse.
That was their answer to it this month, the 3 months ago meeting. Jabbo spoke on it.
Huh.
I think Lego will always use the poor sales of the past as an excuse to not bring back old things that people want and know that if they came out they will buy first day.
I mean, look at the castle, the 3-in-1 castle, and how that thing is selling. You have people
That
like
thing
Scott that bought 3 of them.
That thing is selling like hotcakes.
It's hard to find. It
Yeah.
took me a while to find me one. And I went to my Costco looking to see if I could get it for 75% off. Man, that pallet. That dude told me they sold 2 pallets within less than 48 hours.
I'm not surprised one bit.
And I'm like, damn. It's like, you know what? It's probably people that never been back into Lego for a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they came back into the community, and they're like, you know what? Why don't I start with this? Then you could go master flexing and go buy you 3 of them and put all 3 of them together with the rebrickable instructions.
Like
Or
Scotty was
do
gonna
like
do.
make your own, like I did.
Oh yeah, you can
And
make your own
hopefully
too.
when Lego gets the sales report back
Scotty, you want to
year or
come to my
so
house and make me a
about-
captain?
about how well that set is selling, hopefully they'll come to their senses and see, wow, the sales of this
They
set
don't care about that, Mayo. You know that. It's not about that. It's not. They're
surprising to them,
designing
but unsurprising to us. Say, oh, this set sold really well. Why don't we try and bring back
Yeah,
this
but
thing
Mayo.
that everyone's been clamoring for, but we don't have the capacity for market research.
Yeah, but Matt, it's not even that. It's not that. They hire the designers that don't care about train and they don't care about castle and all that stuff. The designers that you got right now that we're stuck with will never see trains come back unless if Lego tells them, hey, look, we want y'all to work on train. We need a new train for the city. This is what we want.
Yeah.
And they did tell the guys to make a monorail. They never told them to make track.
Right. They're more worried about
Build the tracks for the monorails, believe it or not.
they're more worried about Monkey Kid and video.
I don't like Monkey Kids. I'm sorry. I don't care for the theme.
No,
It's
not
not
really.
my
into
cup
it.
of tea. I'm already collecting way too much different themes, as Scott will tell you.
I actually like the theme. I just can't afford to collect it.
But you know what? I'm sure that in the span of like 2 or 3 years, they'll put out like 20 more X-wings or something like that too, just because they can.
And they will probably put out 50 or more so Luke's land speeders.
Well, y'all can't hate on Star Wars. Remember, we wouldn't be here without them. They almost belly up their company 3 times, and
Exactly.
Star Wars took them out.
This is true. That's true.
That's the biggest claim to fame for Lego Star Wars fans, because they can use that and they can rub it in the face of the Bionicle fans.
But you really want to know something? The reason why they killed a lot of those things is because they weren't selling. Well, I'm going to tell you why they weren't selling. When I was a kid, I would go into the local toy shops or into Toys R Us or in a Walmart or anywhere like that. I would never see these sets. And that was the times that I was collecting Lego. Well, guess what? If you don't mass produce a product and you're trying to sell the shit, well, of course it's going to have low product sales because nobody's going to be able to find it. It's just like what we're seeing now. The problem with Lego is that they're not overproducing sets. They're overproducing some that are garbage, and you can see it everywhere that just sits on the shelf, and then you see like the 3-in-1 castle, they're gone, right?
Like, remember the days when you could walk into a Five Below in the US and you would always see full shelves of the Dimensions because no one was buying them.
Oh, I bought them.
Exactly. People like you bought them on the cheap when they got to $2 a piece at Five Below.
Matt, did you ever see my Dimensions collection?
I don't think I have. Do you have videos on your channel for it?
Yep.
And I made a playlist for the Cajun Yeti about them.
I'm gonna
put my camera in just a second for you, and I'm gonna show you all the little minifigures that came with this set.
I see we got a special guest tonight.
Who's that?
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of getting a little bit late, and she knows it's gonna be it's late night treat time, and she wants some food before we go to bed.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna show you how that before you end the stream. Look at this.
Oh, let me put you up on the screen here, Yeti. Hang on. There you go.
Yeah, pretty sweet. I gotta admit, I was a little jelly.
Is that all Dimension?
That's it. That's the figures.
Oh, snap.
Platforms on them too.
There's Supergirl. There's the Green Lantern. Supergirl only came in the PlayStation 4 pre-order pack at GameStop, and the plate's worth more than the figure right now, believe it or not. And Green Arrow as well was that. That's real flex in there because she's like 160 now sealed.
Oh
wow.
There's Bane, Batman, the Ninjago.
Yeah, y'all making fun of me for flexing about the monorail. Look at Yeti flexing his collection right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is not. Ask Scott. This is a fraction of the proportion. I just like look at this. This is private. Like I don't really show people this collection right here. This is like look my theme right here. Look. It's kind of funny right there. Can you get the Easter egg?
Oh. No, I can't tell.
That's Doc Brown and Marty McFly with the DeLorean that went back to the future. They went too far back.
Oh yeah. Dude, that's awesome.
Right? They went too far back to the Flintstones. Doc, what the hell did you do?
And what are those four spare tires doing there?
Yeah, I'm actually in the dungeon right now looking for a part, Scott. Okay, you take me out. That's that's just a little private section.
You got a nice little display there, man.
Only a select handful of people have ever got the pleasure to see that footage.
And I was lucky enough to see it firsthand.
Same.
Yep. But there's a video that's going to be working out pretty soon that I'm going to end up cleaning it out, cleaning the whole thing out. And then I'm going to show what the final result is because I gotta go through my boxes and that and start recycling like the smaller ones.
Mm-hmm.
Filtering out what I call recycling. I mean, burn it. I mean, I'm joking. No, the Lego boxes.
So you highlighted right there, Yeti. One of the things that a lot of people do, which I think is great. I don't do it myself. You obviously build and you display, collect, and all that good stuff. I just don't have the space to do it because my focus is city work, and that's always been my bread and butter.
I
But I
didn't
mean,
have it neither.
when I see things like that, it's like, damn, people have so much awesome stuff.
I'm
We
buying
are-
a used, worn down trailer home,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna gut it out completely, and I'm just gonna keep the floors in there and maybe a bathroom. But that's gonna be the new Cajun Yeti Productions.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
That's
31st on here on Captain Matt's channel. I mean, Matt's channel, Brick in the Booth.
That's pretty awesome, dude. I like that a lot. That's a great idea.
Well, believe it or not, we looked at them and they're like $800 to $1,600. And I'm probably gonna go look at for one that's not like too run down to where that I can just hook it up to the side of the house. To
Right.
where I don't have to run another pole and have another electricity bill and all this other stuff. So I'll just add it into the house on the side of the house to where that I could just walk in and have it with central AC and everything else. Because
Mm.
most of them come with the AC adapted on there. So it's like, I don't know what I really need to do yet for it, but I'm gonna try to get that done to where that I can have me and if it comes push down to size, I'll just go buy me a bunch of little window units, because window units actually, here's a tip for everybody. You don't
Mhm.
like dusting, buy you a crap ton of window units because it'll take all the dust.
There you go. That sounds like a great idea, though. I
Well,
hope you
Matt,
will
if
share
you
that
want
with
to
us.
wrap up this live stream soon, I'll just tell everyone that I'll go live when you're done.
Oh yeah, it's getting on to 9 o'clock my time. I did want to look at wrapping up here. I didn't really accomplish a lot of building, but that's okay. I had a great time tonight with everybody that's dropped by here. So
You're fired. Go home.
Fired. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. I really, really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for
Thanks
having me on here. I mean, you could have just left me in the green room and suffocated. It would have been funny, right?
It's all good, dude. Hopefully you'll let me into the 24-hour stream when you do that and all that good stuff.
That's $35. No, I'm just thinking.
And also, I'd be more than happy to let you into my live stream coming up next.
I do appreciate that, but I think we're gonna wrap up for the night, though. Even though
Yeah,
first really
it's getting
Yeah, I gotta
late,
get
late for
prepared.
you.
Unfortunately, Mayo, I gotta get prepared for Cliff's. Unfortunately, because he's
Oh,
Yeah.
what's going on later too? Oh, that's right.
But Scott,
We got
if
Cliff's
you're
first.
interested, I'll send you a link on Discord.
All right, man. I might hop over there for a second.
I need to
Okay.
actually send you my Discord link. Believe it or not, I do have a Discord link.
Pay to play.
Yeah.
What?
All right,
What did he say? I
He's
didn't
saying-
see it. It's too
He
far.
said Yeti pay to play.
Yeah, they play. That's right. Oh, look, here you go. Bam.
Oh, look at that.
There's Cajun Nation.
Very busy. Lots of stuff going on.
Too much stuff going on, believe it or not. I need to come in here and work, but I'm gonna tell you viewers anyway. That table over here is gonna get reduced down. I'm gonna move everything out of here and off the walls and that right in here. This section right here, that's going. This table right here is gonna go up to the back, and I'm building me another one, which is gonna be coming soon. And I'm gonna use this section right here, and then the other section right here going off half right here, to where that I'm gonna have a bigger city and I'm gonna have a lot more room and a lot more space. I'm even probably gonna use the floor as well to maybe make some bays or something like that. Maybe this would be a city on the hill.
Awesome, dude. Rock that on, man. Look forward to
You know,
seeing
the water district.
it.
Water
Future
district.
Bells, yeah.
Hey, I'll be higher than the water district like they have in New Orleans, right? At least my city will be above sea level.
That's yeah, right.
Believe it or not, where I'm living at, we're like, I think it's just got 800 feet below.
Mm.
We're sinking. I got a sinking ship. I mean,
Oh, no. I think I'm like 500 feet above sea level where I am in upstate New York. I think something like that.
yeah, you're not that further up neither.
Yeah. Okay, my friends. Again, I want to thank everybody who hung out both on the panel tonight. My guest Dave Morgan, people that hung out in chat. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really appreciate it. A lot of fun tonight. All good times. Until next time. Later.
Bye. Piece
Yes.
of chicken grease.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come and raid the Mayo Hosco stream coming up next.
That's $50 if you want me over
Yeah.
there.